There's a self-tail too.
There's a couple of those left.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested
See if we have any late arrivals.
in. Yeah, I would think all the way unload from the boat. I don't think I can do
This whole thing started, a couple of months ago, I guess. Maybe it was last fall. Gary and I make this blood run on Mondays for the Red Cross. I ride shotgun. I'm not allowed to touch anything or do anything. And last fall, I think probably we thought, well, here's the rescue RC boat. We got to take care of some things on it, like changing fuel connectors and grease bearings and boat covers. And the thing we've got left on that part of the list is order some anti-fouling paint, which we've got the right stuff and we've got some new brushing. And then on the 22, Gary's already taken care of the carpet on the bunks. We removed the winches off a bit early, and we've got them clean, ready to go back on. But we still have transom scuppers. Anyway, what is simply a list last fall, while we were still thinking of it, that we needed to get done before springtime. And a lot of this that we're talking about today should have been done last fall. We should have had this little session at the end of the summer maybe.
For 3 years ago.
But the first thing that seemed to come up was to deal with winches, because that was our biggest problem, our greatest need. So we'll talk a little bit about winches, but really plan to use this pre-launch checklist for some further discussion on a lot of other little things that are almost as important. Yeah, everybody has notes. Let's see. Before we get into this much, pass this down through. I'm sure a lot of you have either had this or gotten it, but there's a 2016 catalog out now, and you can call or go online and request one, and they'll pay the postage. And it's an excellent source. West Marine started, I think they were the first ones to start doing stuff online, and their first catalog was maybe, I don't know, a fourth of what that is today, because it was really directed towards sailors. Now they do power boats and clothing and lots of fishing gear, but it's still really a good source. If it's available, they may have it. And you can get stuff out of there pretty quickly. But anyway, that's a good source. When you go online to request that, go ahead and request a 2016 Hawking catalog. Most of your blocks are probably already Harken. If not, they can be easily replaced with Harken as they begin to fall apart for you. And there's a lot of things in there, including the little bearings for the 150 cleats, and a lot of the stuff's available. They're small parts, but they're available. But Harken is another good source, and you can ask for their catalog when you ask for the West Marine catalog. For small boat sailors, this APS, I'll start this one with that end and go that way. But what I thought you might do is at least make a note of these different companies that are still out there today that can provide you with a lot of help, a lot of information, and parts. But that APS is mostly directed toward performance boats. I haven't looked at one recently, but I know it's still a good source for J24 parts and J30 parts. Another one for small boats, sunfish, lasers, that sort of thing, ley line. And you can get online on all this stuff now too. Part of them don't even want to put the money into a catalog. There's worth checking out. For Catalina sailors. Are there any sailors here today?
Yes.
Catalina Direct. That's not part of Catalina Yachts. It's a company in California that put this all together. I don't know. I got this catalog at a national regatta in Fort Worth, Texas 20 years ago. And then they used to update the literature from year to year. Now again, you're better off to go online, CatalinaDirect.com probably. I don't think they even had it on the catalog at that time. But again, it's a great source for Catalina sailors and others, because they carry not just Catalina parts, but they carry a lot of hardware and so forth that is applicable to a lot of other boats. They're a Garhauer distributor, which a lot of Catalina parts are made by Garhauer. They were engineered by Catalina. Garhauer makes it up. They've used it on their hardware needs over the years. Magazines. I take Sailing World. Gary still takes Sail Magazine. How many takes Sail Magazine? Anyway, this month, I think he had to be a millionaire to even think about opening that book. They didn't have a boat in there under $1 million, and cruise of 25, and that's just not my kind of sailing. But Sailing World and Sail are two good sources of information. And this checklist that Gary ran off is out of this month's Sail Magazine. So we can keep things in order up there. So we got notepads, pens, pencils, catalogs, Harkin, miscellaneous. Okay. Thought we might look first at a winch, since that seems to be a primary concern. We've got a set of Taylor here that we took off of Gary's boat. But we've already, it's ready to go back. We haven't gotten to it. We've got number 16 2-speed. And we've got this Barlow, which I haven't even seen until today. But they really represent three different ways of securing these things. Not good to pop this down. When you put these together, taking them apart, try to rotate them so that these little pawls, they call them pawls down in there, will be able to spin off of there. And that goes in place. This particular winch, though, uses a cap that screws down. To tighten that,